Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Toyota GR86 at Indy Motor Speedway for the road course. This is a fixed setup that I'm running here, so everything just off the rack as you would normally expect it for the fixed series. If you are new to my channel, what we do is we do a hot lap and then I do a breakdown lap and then we're back in the cockpit one final time with the driving line on. Right, any questions, let me know in the comments and let's start the lap. Okay, let's go. So over on the left-hand side, we're going to be almost scraping our paintwork against this wall in 5th gear. Coming up to this sort of semi-tricky turn 1. As we get to the 300 meters, we're going to drop it all the way down to 2nd gear, trailing it off all the way down. Little lift here through 2, back on the gas, up to 3rd gear, back over to the left-hand side. Little dab of the brakes, trailing it off down to 2nd gear, cutting this corner, making sure we're using the full width of the track. We just power on through here, jump in this curve on the right. I've got this long drag down to turn 7, which is a right angle left-hander. And you see the board's on the right-hand side. As we get to the 300, 200, we're going to drop it down to 2nd gear. Again, just clipping this corner does help you rotate a little bit. Little lift here, round 8. Nope, round 9, sorry. And then back on the gas. And again, just a lift here, cutting the corner, making sure the centre of our car remains over the track. Once again, making full use of the width here. Back over to the left-hand side. 200 meters, that's when we start breaking down. All the way down to 2nd gear. Tiny dab at the brakes, back in, onto the gas in 2nd gear. Just holding it over to the right hand side, shortening the track. And there we have it, a 140.270. I think that's going to be competitive this week on the fixed setup. Okay, let's run through slightly more detail, but I'll not hold you too long. So as we're counting down, we're in 5th gear, and as we get to the 300 meter marker, so it's midway between the 3 and the 400, we're braking hard in a straight line up to about 90%, and then we're going to trail that off. As we get to the 100, we're going to start turning in, trailing off, dropping it down to 2nd gear. We don't really want to jump this curbing because it just unsettles you, but we want to just miss it. And we're going to give it a big blip of throttle, and now we're back up to 100%. Over to the right-hand side, and then immediately doing a lift so that we can get the rotation and getting back on the gas. Full throttle, over to 3rd gear, over to the left-hand side, and then just as we get to the curbing here, we're going to brake only up to about 50%, trailing that off, dropping it down to 2nd gear, and now we're trying to get back onto full power, as you can see here. It looks like you're massively cutting it, but my right-hand tyres, as you'll see from the chase cam in the hot lap, are firmly on the rumble strip. Going to cut this corner, again, keeping the centre of our car over the rumble strip, no off-track that way, and we're just going to aim to go straight over this curbing here. In the nice soft suspension that we've got in the fixed setup, you just cruise over that as if you didn't even notice it was there. Right, over to the right hand side, and our braking marker is going to be just as we get to the 300 and just as the 200s are looming into view. And again, we're braking up to about 80-95% there, and we're just trailing that off, dropping it down to 2nd gear. We're not actually clipping this one, so I come within a sort of a very, very small margin of clipping it, but I didn't actually touch it. Up to 100%. We're doing this bit flat up to 3rd gear, and then basically as soon as we turn to 3rd, we're going to come off the gas and then get straight back on, so we're on 100% as we apex. Another lift here, building back on the gas. In this corner, just going over the rumble strip, back over to the left hand side, and then it's between the 3 and the 200, And as you see, as we get to there, so by the time we're on 200, we're up to sort of 95%. And again, we're going to trail that off, drop it down to second gear. You can clip this slightly, trying to get back on the gas as soon as possible, over to the right-hand side. And then we're just going to do a little dab of brakes here for the final sort of braking zone. It's only up to about 25-30%. And then immediately getting back on the gas, we can cut this corner quite aggressively. Back onto 100%. This car's a lot more forgiving than the GT4s around here. The corner's nowhere near as slippy, because you're not doing the same speed. And there we have it. That's the lap. Final time with the driving line coming up now. Now for a final time with the driving line on. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in the week. Cheers.